Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is Friday, November 18th, 2022. It is 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And this is my Coping with Schizophrenia blog entry for today. Um, Today I'm doing pretty good. The holidays are coming up. It's almost Thanksgiving here in the United States. Um, I will be going out for Thanksgiving dinner both next Tuesday and on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to two different churches that serve um, Thanksgiving meals next week. Um, I don't speak to my family, so I'm going to celebrate Thanksgiving with other people where they're serving meals at different churches. And I'm not sure what if anything, I'm going to do for Christmas. I am an atheist, but I have to be practical. Free food is free food. Um, and I don't have to do any cooking. But anyways, as far as my symptoms are concerned today, um, they're not too bad. My anxiety levels are not really high today. My paranoia and delusions are not very strong today. My auditory hallucinations are not that bad. My depression and anxiety aren't that bad. Um, I did go out to do my morning walking and physical therapy exercises today because of my surgery I had on my knee on May 13th earlier this year. I did some work on my computer. I do consumer surveys for extra money. Um, I make these videos, try to make these videos every day. I don't always succeed in doing that, but I do try to make these videos every day. Um, I thought I'd just check in real quick. It's getting late. I mean, in the sense that it's getting dark outside. It's 5:30 in Rochester, New York. I'm in the eastern part of the United States. It's definitely getting colder. I went outside today and had to wear my full winter jacket and a hat because winter is definitely coming to Rochester. It even had a few snow flurries last night. Nothing that really stuck to the ground, but the snow has begun and the ice has begun. Um, and that always makes it harder on my mood, my paranoia, my delusions, my anxiety, my depression. It'll fluctuate, it'll go up and down throughout the winter. But winter is generally a tougher time for a lot of people with a mental illness, especially in their moods and their anxiety levels. Um, I think that it was necessary for me to see my therapist more often through the winter months. So I'm seeing my therapist once every 2 weeks, and my peer support specialist once every 2 weeks, and my psychiatrist once every 6 weeks. I will be seeing my therapist next week on the 23rd, and I think the week after that I have an appointment with my peer support specialist. That's somebody who has a mental health diagnosis that works as a trained counselor at my clinic. And I'm seeing my psychiatrist in December 8th, I think. I've been seeing him once every 6 weeks. He just refilled some of my prescriptions, and I'm going to go to the pharmacy tomorrow and pick them up, including my Klonopin prescription, which I'm still taking 3 times a day, half a milligram, 3 times daily for anxiety. It does help keep me out of the psychiatric emergency room. The calmer I am for my medication, the less likely I'll become agitated and end up in the psychiatric emergency room waiting hours on end just to be evaluated by a psychiatrist and ultimately just get sent home anyways. Um, I have a new record in a way. I haven't been to the psychiatric emergency room in several months, and before that, it was almost a full year since I saw someone at the psychiatric emergency room. So I'm doing a lot better in that regard, just staying away from the psychiatric emergency room. Going to the psychiatric emergency room is usually something reserved for people who say or act suicidal or who threaten or become violent, um, and they're mentally ill. They may need to be taken to the psychiatric emergency room. Whenever I go to the psychiatric emergency rooms, because I called the ambulance and they always send the police before the ambulance, and it was always me who was the one that called. I've never been taken to the psychiatric emergency room against my will. It was always me who called on the times that I did go to the psychiatric emergency room. Um, Different police have different procedures, and New York State, it's not unusual for them to pat you down for weapons or sharp objects or anything like that before they let you get into the ambulance because it's for the safety of the ambulance crew. Um, but generally speaking, psychiatric emergency room visits are usually reserved for people who are suicidal or potentially violent. I think that's the way the laws are in most states in the United States. I live in New York State, so that's the way they do it here in Rochester. Um, but other than that, I'm doing okay. Not much else to report on. Um, just going to the pharmacy to pick up my prescriptions tomorrow. Um, and I think I also have an appointment with my gastroenterologist over the phone on the 5th of December. So we'll see what happens.